Return of the Library Dragon. Okay, here's a newspaper article. It's called From the School Library Times. Librarian retires. Look, there she is. Time has come to turn page, says Miss Lotty. The beloved librarian checks herself out of Sunrise Elementary School Library this week. Students had hoped she would shelve plans for retirement, but Miss Lotty says her departure is long overdue. Happily, the librarian promises to remain in circulation and renew old friendships. When asked to recall her fondest memory as a librarian, she replied, dewy-eyed, 20 years ago, a little footnote of a girl named Molly Brickmeyer showed me how wrong I was to keep children from their books. I shed my scales, discarded the library dragon ways, and got in touch with my inner library goddess. Miss Brickmeyer could not be reached for comment. Return of the Library Dragon. Sunrise Elementary School had a big problem. Their beloved librarian, Miss Lotty, was retiring. If you leave, who will read to the little kids, pleaded Milo, or dress up in goofy costumes for Library Week? Why, the new librarian will do all that, Miss Lotty reassured him, and more. More? Milo lit up. Will she let us use computers? A computer in the library? Huffed Miss Lotty, buzzing and humming, clicking and beeping. Over my dead dragon body! Milo blinked for an instant. His sweet librarian had appeared quite dragon-like. So they're carrying goofy costumes for Library Week, dragon puppets. Oh, look, there she is in the bed. And look, this thing, you see that tail coming out of the bed? Huh. But Miss Lotty didn't feel dragonish for long. Retirement was one blissful day away. That night she fell into a peaceful slumber, counting children's books instead of sheep. Of course, she knew nothing of the delivery truck heading toward the library. It was loaded with trouble. Big trouble. Look at the books she's thinking about. There's Goodnight Moo and Where the Wild Pigs Are, and A Rat in the Hat. And yeah, okay. The following morning, Miss Lotty found a very unhappy Milo waiting for her. They're all gone, he stammered. Gone? She asked. The books are gone. Miss Lotty's tail gave a dangerous twitch. Who would dare take our books? Central office, gulped Milo. And they sent a guy who says he's IT. Look, there he is, standing in front of the doors. Pardon our clutter. Progress in progress. The library doors swung open. Come on in, boomed a wiry little man. The name's Crowchip, Mike Crowchip. Did he say microchip? Asked Milo. Miss Lotty didn't answer. Her eyes scanned the empty shelves. What have you done with our books? A wisp of pale smoke escaped her lips. You do know this is a library. It's better than a library, chirped Mike Crowchip. It's Media World, the new Sunrise Cybrary. No books? Miss Lotty felt herself growing oddly warm. It's a brave new world, Crowchip beamed at Lotty. Books stain and tear and take up room. Check out the Book Begone 5000. It'll kindle your fire. Pardon me, mister. It was Milo. Other children had gathered behind him to protest the library book napping. We'd like our books back, please. Mike Crowchip's brain short-circuited. You want them back? But why, when you could have 10,000 books in one little, handy little... Because, said Milo, 10,000 books on a screen all look the same. And a third grader added, right, but 10,000 books in a library all look and feel different. And all I need to upload a book is my brain. My grandma can read me the very same book her grandma read to her. Know what else? The only way my book gets a virus is if I sneeze on it. I like that I can give my book to a friend. I can't delete a real book unless I lose it in my brother's room. And books smell. My favorite book smells like spaghetti. Look, he's reading The Pokey Little Guppy. If you've never really loved a book, said Milo, maybe nobody can explain it to you. Crowchip frowned. Lotty looked smug. And a fourth grader turned on a mee-pod. This is awesome, she squealed. The other children crowded around, even Milo. Now it was Crowchip's turn to gloat. Ha! Give me a month. These kids won't remember what a book looks like. He loosened his tie. Golly, it is hot in here, Is it hot in here, Miss Lotty? That's Lotta Scales to you, little mister. And the library dragon returned. You bring back every last library book or I'll melt your motherboard, roared Lotta Scales. Oh, look at her. She's scary. Mike Crowchip and the stampeding children almost knocked over a young woman in the hallway. I wouldn't go in there if I were you, he cried. That librarian's a real dragon. Oh my, the sweet young redhead bit her lip. Not again. Meanwhile, Lotta Scales, the bad girl of the book world, wrestled the cyber beast. No books, rumbled the dragon. Why, I'll eat every last bite before I let them take my library. Milo watched in awe. It's not every day you see your librarian eat a laptop and a whiteboard and 8 printers and 65 tablets. Stop already, he cried. You're going to have a 6-week bellyache. Miss Lotta Scales snatched Milo off the ground and eyed him with curiosity. Do I know you, small mammal? She grunted. Sure you do. I'm your best reader, said Milo. Come on, Miss Lotty, I know you're still in there. They were interrupted by a knock on the door. Great balls of fire, crackled the dragon. What now? May I come in? It's me, Molly Brickmeyer. Molly? Lotta Scales took a trembling step toward the girl who'd once helped her shed her scales. The dragon groaned. What's wrong? Molly asked. They took our books. Don't worry, said Molly. The books will be back tomorrow. I told the principal I couldn't possibly take the job if... Take the job? Lotta Scales looked at Molly in wonder. You're the new librarian? I was going to surprise you, said Molly. She patted the giant beast's snout and whispered, I learned from the best, you know. And for only the second time in her life, the library dragon's scales began to fall with a clickety-clack, clickety-clack, clickety-clack. Miss Lotty was back. Now she's only got a little bit of a tail. Just look at this mess, muttered Molly. I love technology too, but our kids need a library where they can unplug for the love of books. Molly's ears began to grow warm. A children's cybrary at sunrise? Over my dead dragon body! Miss Lotty sighed. The library was safe again for now. She could pass the torch. Milo, meet your new, she hesitated, Media Library Cyber Book Specialist. Thank you, said Molly with a grin, but I prefer librarian. Miss Brickmeyer, library goddess. Tomorrow is Technology-Free Tuesday. Unplug it or lose it. A bad case of scales.